To begin our watercolor paintings, we're going to find that smoother side of our paper and write our name on the back. When you flip it over, you want to think about starting from the front to the back. And that means starting with a line at the bottom for the ground. You could add blades of grass, keeping in mind you do not want to draw every single part of the grass because you do have to glue these. I am drawing fairly light, so if I make a mistake, it's going to be easy to erase. If you have a textured paper, sometimes it's hard to erase on that. I'm going to create a composition, that's how many pumpkins, where I'm putting them, that has 2 pumpkins. Remember, you can have 1, 2, or 3 pumpkins. I started with 2 curved lines. I don't have to worry about the bottom of the pumpkin because it's behind the grass, behind the ground. It's sitting on there. My pumpkins are going to overlap and touch. I could have a space between them. So if they're overlapping and touching, I'm not going to see that whole side almost. I'm leaving a space to add the stem, and then I'm making the other side. The stem has a curved line. Think about a smiley face. And then the stem of the pumpkin is going to be 3-dimensional. I start with a squished oval. It could be wibbly wobbly. That squished oval is called an ellipse. And then I can connect my lines. I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. It could be straight up and down, could be bending, could be broken, could be skinny. To make these pumpkins have a texture, I am going to add just a few texture lines. I start in the middle. That one's almost straight up and down. As I go around the edges, it's matching the curve of that pumpkin. This one, I just added 3. I think 3, 4, 5 is about as many of these lines as you'd want. Maybe you don't see the whole line. It went off the side. Other things you can add, you could add leaves, a teardrop, or a triangle. You could add a stem, but you would want to turn that stem into a shape that you can actually add glue onto. Once your pencil drawing is done, you're going to outline with glue. If your glue is clogged, just be a problem solver. Pick that dried glue off, try opening it again. I like to start towards the top of my paper because I tend to lean my arm on my paper. I want to make a glue line that is nice, just a perfect thickness, not too globby, not too skinny. I like to touch the tip of my paper with the glue bottle. Some kids like to go up further, but I am creating glue lines on the entire pumpkin. When I'm done, I am carrying this like my lunch tray to our special drawing rack with the flat shelves. On day 2, you are ready to add watercolor paints. This has been my demonstrated piece, but I'm going to start with these white spots that don't have color yet. You should have all of the colors from the color wheel, plus black and brown, in your paint tray. Watercolors need water to make them work. The more water, the lighter the color. So I'm just starting by getting this paint wet. When I put it on my paper, that color is nice. It has just a nice value of orange. If I don't get any more water, I use more paint and it's going to get darker. You can mix colors today. We talked about that. So maybe I want to try some yellow in this pumpkin. While the paint is wet, they mix awesome. Remember, I don't want to keep rubbing in the same spot. Chances are I'm going to get a hole in my paper. Anytime I switch colors, I'm washing my brush nice. You can go over the top like I am. This already had a layer of orange, but I'm just kind of adding more to get it a darker value. I'm trying to make my pumpkin about the same colors of orange. It would look silly if I had a striped pumpkin of different colors. The stem could be green, could be brown, could be mixture of them. Maybe the stem is a little dirty, maybe it has a little black in it. If you get too much of a color, it's okay to use a paper towel to kind of dab it off. Your sky can have blues, purples, blacks. I think this sky had some purple to start and some blue. They only mix well when the paint is wet. So as soon as I want to mix, I put that color right on top of the wet painting. The grass as well, you can mix in the grass. I think this had some green. It looks like it's a little bit dirtier, so maybe a little brown with it. If it gets too dark, I'm gonna just add water. You are filling the entire paper today with watercolor. There should not be huge areas of white left. When you're done, these are gonna go in our normal drying rack to dry. On our last day of working with our pumpkins, this is your value test. We are looking to find all the values in our pumpkins. We are also outlining the glue. So I am following the outline of glue with the Sharpie on both sides of the glue. So I've got this side, now I gotta get this side of it. That's gonna kind of make your texture of your pumpkins stand out and look pretty awesome. I'm gonna zoom in because your job is to find value changes. Value changes might happen where you see the color dry different. Or maybe you see an actual shape of this light orange and I'm outlining it. I'm gonna do that everywhere I see value changes. In my pumpkins, in the sky, in the grass, in the ground, in anything I put on my paper. This sky has some really cool brush strokes. Maybe I just have lines of those color changes. Maybe there's little areas I missed and I can actually outline those little white areas or the lighter values I see. The more time you spend on this part, the more texture we're gonna see and the more values you created that will stand out. This is gonna go in a special spot Miss Clary is pointing to when you are finished.